everyone, welcome to today's video on digital transformation course for leaders. In today's fast-changing world, businesses need to adapt, innovate and stay ahead of the curve, and that's exactly what digital transformation is all about. But what exactly it takes to lead this transformation effectively? In this video, we'll start with the blueprint of digital transformation, helping you understand the key steps to successfully implement change. We'll also dive into driving digital culture and mindset, because transformation isn't just about technology, it's about people too. Then we'll also explore game-changing technologies like business analytics and big data, artificial intelligence and machine learning, blockchain and IT security as well. We'll also look over the automation trends like robotic process automation, cloud computing, DevOps, along with digital marketing strategies for the modern world. And if you're excited about the future, we have got insights into virtual and augmented reality, 3D printing, and other emerging innovations shaping industries today. So whether you're a new business leader, entrepreneur, or aspiring digital strategist, this course will give you the essential knowledge to navigate and lead digital transformation successfully. So let's get started.
Hello, and welcome to the Digital Transformation course. In this lesson, you will understand the basics of digital transformation with examples and learn the importance of adopting it in your business. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to explain the meaning of being digital, describe digital transformation and why it is needed, discuss how digital transformation impacts key industries, explain how being digital is different from just adopting technology. Describe who is affected by digital transformation. List the key technologies that are disrupting the digital landscape. The digital impact on our lives is all-encompassing, whether it's sending a message to somebody, ordering food, or booking a cab. Everything has gone digital. The change is invisible but true, and is transforming people's lives. So, what does being digital mean? Being digital is more than just having a mobile app, equipping the sales force with iPads, striving for likes on Facebook, or moving the organization's data to the cloud. It is about creating harmony in different interrelated components at play. Executives need a framework to see how the components work together, so that they can plot their own path to being digital. Digital refers to increasing the connectedness between people, processes, and products, while generating insights from the information produced to create value. Digital transformation is sometimes referred to as business transformation. The value generation process through connectedness is different component calls for re-examining the entire way of doing business and exploring new frontiers of value. This may involve developing entirely new businesses in adjacent categories. The business transformation through adoption of digital technology has changed the entire landscape of client engagement, commerce, marketing, and more across industries. Let's have a look at the impact of this transformation through an example. Uber developed an application that is simple yet revolutionary. The idea that a customer can book a car anywhere and at any time in one click has transformed the idea of customized transport service at a large scale. The Uber phenomenon has set an example for changing the concept of service. The success of this application, which results from the digital revolution, is only the beginning of an inescapable transformation of the economy, with tendencies of impacting professionals from all sectors. Another such example is from the insurance industry. Lemonade is an artificial intelligence-powered automated mobile insurance platform that can underwrite policies and process claims within minutes. Lemonade has been in the news for settling an insurance claim within 3 seconds using its claim bot, Jim. It reviews the claim, cross-references details with the original policy, and runs fraud detection algorithms. Once everything looks okay, it sends wire instructions to the bank to pay the claim. Digital transformation is evolving at a fast pace. Companies and individuals are adapting to the change to transform their processes and create good customer experiences. Let's now understand what digital transformation is. Digital transformation refers to an overall transformation of organizational activities aimed at leveraging opportunities created by digital technologies and data. This requires the company to profoundly transform its business model, infrastructure, processes, and culture, all geared toward constantly finding new sources of customer value. Organizations need to evolve digitally to address the changing business landscape. The reasons for increasing importance of digital transformation are: acceleration of change. The pace of digital change is rising exponentially, making it very difficult to maintain a position of industry leadership and requiring an acceleration of new digital solutions brought to market. Digital competition. The increasing pressure of digital competition has forced the long-established businesses to re-examine their models on the lines of new, born digital startups. Customer expectations. Customers expect a good experience across all touchpoints. It is important to ensure that their interactions are seamless and exceptional. Digital adoption. Digital adoption, like big data, automation, and IoT, has made it necessary for companies to transform completely. But does digital just involve adopting technology? Let's understand this. Digital is not confined to adoption of technology. Digital requires companies to have a bona fide corporate transformation, with an emphasis on strategic innovation for the long term and shared ownership where technology supports the process. Let's list the differences. Being digital versus adopting technology. Being digital focuses on buying technology that fits business needs the best, calls for overall cultural change before adoption, demands holistic view of business problem from leaders, focuses on strategic innovation from long-term perspective, calls for change in core elements and policies of business. Adopting technology focuses on buying the best and latest technology with no considerations to business needs, does not require cultural changes, does not need reference to business problem, has a narrow perspective to meeting immediate business needs, plays a supporting role in digital transformation. By now, you must have understood the importance of digital transformation and how the change is the need of the hour. Now let's analyze who are affected by the change. The evolution over the years has made it crucial to change the approach of how we meet customer needs and expectations. This calls for change at both individual level as well as the enterprise level. At the individual level, leadership approach of both executives and CXOs needs to be altered to make way for a more dynamic, risk-taking, and lateral organization. At the industries or enterprise level, the hierarchical approach in business to rewarding innovation irrespective of the hierarchy must change. Let's learn about this in detail. Executives. This transformation means change in the outlook of the people governing the organization processes. It calls for change among executives, who play a major role in strategy development and its execution. It requires the executives to have vision and to rethink their entire business execution process, changing everything right from manufacturing of a product to how it is marketed and serviced. Digital transformation also requires executives to shift their attention from improving existing products to adapting to new changes. The process involves integrating new business processes, practices, and information systems aligned with the goal of maintaining a good customer relationship. CXOs. Digital transformation calls for change not only among executives, but also among CXOs, who are the representatives of an organization. It requires CXOs to 1. Embrace the innovation of the digital economy to define new ways of working, improve customer service, and invent technological platforms. 2. Propose strategies and lead the way for the big change. 3. Introduce branding initiatives to find new and latent needs that provide opportunities to reframe and shape things for the future. 4. Establish a broad vision, propose strategies, and free organization from the current legacy and habit, driving it toward a digital mindset. Now that you have learned the changes that should be made at an individual level, let's look at the impact of digital transformation at the enterprise level. Becoming a digital enterprise requires far more profound changes than merely investing in the latest technologies. It calls for a change in 1. Digital business models. Companies need to fundamentally change the way they identify, develop, and launch new businesses. 2. Digital operating models. Companies need to follow a lean approach to both core and support functions. 3. Digital talent and skills. Companies need to attract, retain, and develop the right talent. 4. Digital traction metrics. Companies need to adopt newer digital traction metrics, as traditional KPIs are no longer effective in a digital business. Major industries are impacted by digital transformation. Some of them include insurance, banking and finance, healthcare, manufacturing, travel, transport and logistics, utilities, retail. Let's discuss the implications for each sector in detail. Insurance. Digital in insurance sector has changed the way people avail insurance policies. For example, Metromile, a San Francisco-based car insurance company, offers pay-per-mile insurance and a driving app. Metromile installs a device on the vehicle. The device continuously monitors miles, sudden speed changes, jerks, collisions, etc. It works on artificial intelligence-based algorithms to improve the underwriting as it collects more data about usage. Banking and finance. Digital adoption in banking sector has helped in upgrading from traditional banking to an omni-channel approach. Banks and financial operators are aggressively modernizing technology infrastructure to enable current and future growth across all business sectors. For example, Bank of America revolutionized the banking sector through an integration of IoT in its business. It partnered with popular wearables like Apple Watch and Fitbit, where a portfolio of microtags and mini-tags are attached to the devices. This makes the payment cash-free. Customers need to just scan their smart devices to the machine installed at the shops. This makes the life of customers much easier. Healthcare. The digital acceptance in healthcare sector has revolutionized the entire patient experience, right from booking appointment to follow-up process, in a new and exciting way. For example, Practo empowers people to search doctors around them at their own convenient time, validate, and book appointments. It keeps all records within the app, provides 24/7 healthcare services, provides online consultation, ensures medicine availability, and tracks payments. Manufacturing. Digital transformation revolutionizes the way manufacturers share and manage products. For example, Airbus, a manufacturer of aeronautical products, is involved in the assembly of commercial jetliners. Such crafts have millions of components and tens of thousands of assembly steps, and the cost of mistakes during the process can be enormous. To tackle the complexity, Airbus launched a digital manufacturing initiative known as Factory of the Future, based on IoT, to streamline operations and bolster production capacity. Travel. Consumers are relying on digital channels and platforms for all their travel needs, from researching to booking. This has totally transformed their travel experience. For example, Trivago specializes in internet-related services and products in hotel and lodging. It offers travelers with a consolidated view of hotel booking options available across hundreds of travel sites. Trivago scours more than 200 booking sites to offer the best rates on more than 1.3 million properties. It also acts as an advertising platform where independent property owners can advertise alongside major online travel agencies and hotel giants using cost-per-click advertising that drives customized traffic to the websites. Transport and logistics. Digital integration has helped in improving efficiency, speed, and timing, which form the core of transport and logistics industry. For example, FedEx introduced IoT in its supply chain model. It was faced with the problem of maintaining the quality of healthcare products while in transit. It integrated SenseAware, based on IoT technology, to keep a check on temperature, location, and vital signs of the package. This helps in making real-time decisions. For example, if a perishable goods package sets off on a 2-day journey, but the sensor data shows that the shelf life has decreased, then the package can be instantly diverted to another location, which saves both time and money. Utilities. Mobility, intelligent devices, big data, and business process management systems constitute the digital ecosystem through which utilities can deliver customer experience, operational efficiencies, and changing business models. For example, RWE Power and Slock runs a blockchain energy P2P sharing project. The companies are putting together a decentralized billing system for electronic vehicle charging. It is called BlockCharge. Following the principles of roaming for telecommunications, it allows charging of electric vehicles anywhere, with a simple billing interface powered by blockchain technology. It enables the electric vehicles to interact automatically with stations and makes the electricity payment process autonomous. Retail. Digital integration has helped in creating personalized services to customers in the retail sector. For example, Amazon, an online retailer giant, is well known for its integration of technologies like IoT sensors, artificial intelligence, and cameras in its brick-and-mortar stores. This eliminates checkouts. This has been made possible through the Amazon Go app, which allows customers to make purchases on their cell phones. This app-based technology uses computer vision, sensor fusion, and deep learning to provide a checkout-free shopping experience. The union of these technologies automatically keeps a track of input and output of products from the shelves and helps maintain a virtual cart. Once the customers are done with their shopping, they can leave the store. Their Amazon account is charged and a receipt is sent. This eliminates the need for waiting in the queue. The application of digital transformation across various industries gives us insights into its relevance and importance. However, for digital transformation to be successful, it needs the support of various digital advances. Let's learn about them in detail. Executives across all industries are using digital advances to change customer relationships, internal processes, and value propositions using technologies such as data analytics, artificial intelligence, robotics and automation, cloud computing, blockchain, IoT, and digital marketing. Data analytics. Data analytics refers to the process of examining huge volumes of data that helps to fetch information aid by specialized systems and software. Data analytics has varied applications and helps analyze business data and predict future unforeseen circumstance. This reflects it in business decisions to improve performance. Artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is the science of enabling machines to demonstrate human intelligence. It enables machines to perform cognitive tasks by simulating intelligent behavior commonly associated with humans. While the field of AI is currently evolving, AI-enabled machines are increasingly able to process knowledge, reason, solve problems, perceive, learn, and take decisions. Common uses of AI include object and speech recognition, natural language processing, deep learning, prediction, and translation. Robotics and automation. It is the use of software capabilities to handle high-volume, repeatable tasks that were performed by humans earlier. With artificial intelligence and machine learning capabilities, robotics and automation is now being enhanced to perform cognitive decision-making. This is revolutionizing the speed and throughput of transactions and dramatically improving accuracy, cycle time, and productivity of business processes. Cloud computing. It is regarded as distribution of computing services in the form of servers, storage, databases, networking, software, analytics, and more over the Internet. The companies that offer these services are called cloud providers, wherein the client is charged for the services based on usage, similar to one being billed for water or electricity at home. Blockchain. It is a type of distributed ledger for maintaining a permanent and tamper-proof record of transactions. A blockchain functions as a decentralized database and a distributed ledger that is managed by computers belonging to a peer-to-peer network. Each of the computers in the distributed network maintains a copy of the ledger to prevent a single point. IoT. The Internet of Things is a system of interrelated computing devices, mechanical and digital machines, objects, and people that are provided with unique identifiers and the ability to transfer data over a network without requiring human-to-human or human-to-computer interaction. From building automation and smart factories to wearables, IoT touches every facet of our lives. Digital marketing. Digital marketing refers to effective usage of social media. These channels are used for interaction with customers, both proactively and responsively. A company can harness its benefits, as it not only helps in understanding customer behavior, but also enhances customer experience through targeted engagement. You will learn about all these technologies in the upcoming lessons. For now, let's summarize what you have learned. Being digital means bringing together a number of interrelated components that increase connectedness and provide valuable insights. Digital transformation refers to an overall transformation of organizational activities aimed at leveraging opportunities for changing digital technologies. To become a digital business, you require informed leaders who can create a strategy using evidence, lead teams to work, educate them to approach challenges using data-driven decision, and create constant cycles of agile and focused innovation. The key technologies disrupting the change include data analytics, artificial intelligence, robotics, cloud computing, blockchain, IoT, and digital marketing. Hello, and welcome to the Digital Transformation course. In this lesson, you will understand the blueprint of adopting digital transformation in business and its benefits. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to explain the meaning of being digital, describe digital transformation and why it is needed, discuss how digital transformation impacts key industries, explain how being digital is different from just adopting technology, describe who is affected by digital transformation, list the key technologies that are disrupting the digital landscape. It is rightly said that strategy, not technology, drives digital transformation. Adoption of upgraded technology does not ensure digital success. As per the 2015 Digital Business Global Executive Study and Research Project by MIT Sloan Management Review and Deloitte, strategy is the key driver in the digital arena. Being digitally fluent doesn't refer to being a master in technologies. It actually calls for the ability to articulate the value of digital technologies to the organization's future. Digital transformation is about transforming how a company operates and engages with customers by leveraging technology and data. Companies today need to continuously find new sources for customer value. Earlier, value proposition was defined by the company. Today, value proposition is being defined by changing customer needs, as the customer is now the center of any business decision. The major transformation occurs in areas of business models. Organizations need to reorient their strategy to transform their business model, technology, data infrastructure, processes, as well as culture and mindset, all geared toward constantly finding new sources of customer value. Technology and process. Increasing digital adoption among tech-savvy customers is changing how they discover, evaluate, and purchase products and services. This is changing how we engage with customers and create value by leveraging the latest techno-functional capabilities and redefining the value chain for serving customers. Competition. Companies are now competing not just with other companies from within the industry, but also with companies from outside the incumbent industry. They may find themselves competing fiercely with a long-standing rival in one area while partnering with the same company in another. Culture and mindset. Digital is transforming how businesses innovate. It has enabled continuous testing and experimentation. Prototypes can be built quickly and tested with user communities, allowing constant learning and rapid iteration before full-fledged launch. A strategy or a framework aligning all these areas is crucial for any organization to prepare for the change and reap the benefits of transformation. Let's look at an example where having a framework has resulted in a successful transformation. Schools are transforming digitally to enhance teaching, learning, and assessment in adaptation of the UNESCO ICT Competency Framework. Having a framework provides a common reference of digital competence for teachers and school leaders. It promotes innovative pedagogical approaches that embed the use of digital technologies. A digital transformation framework is the blueprint for an organization to move through a period of significant change caused by evolving business conditions. However, there is no framework that fits all. Companies have their own framework suited to their transformation strategy, customers, and employees. Some examples of companies that have adopted a digital framework are Cognizant, Deloitte, Audi, Mendix, and many more. But why is a framework so important? The object of any business is to continuously improve its products and services to meet the changing needs of its customers. This requires businesses to rethink their work, to continuously improve margins and decrease costs. Adoption of digital framework not only equips an organization to improve its operations, but also accepts and executes innovative and disruptive strategies. These strategies enable the company to compete in the rapidly changing market conditions that are highly influenced by changing customer expectations, technology, and new commercial models. The framework provides an appropriate strategy and roadmap that allows organizations of different sizes to grow and succeed rapidly in the changing market conditions. Let's look at an example of a digital framework. Shown here is the digital framework adopted by SAP. Sensors and the Internet of Things are playing a major role here. For SAP, the intelligence lies within the applications. What is important is the input, loads of data, and the ability to provide and deliver models that can be trained to support specific business processes. Machine learning. This is the framework that worked best for SAP based on its business model and strategy for the transformation. Although the framework is industry-specific, there are a few core elements that form a base in the framework strategy and can be incorporated into almost all of the industries. To ensure transformation at scale, it is advisable to include the three core elements. 1. People. 2. Process. 3. technology. Digital transformation calls for a greater focus on people, not just technology. Digital transformation requires people who 1. Are creative, 2. Have complex problem-solving capabilities, 3. Are lateral thinkers, 4. Have both flexibility and agility, 5. Drive collaboration across an ecosystem. The process involved in this digital transformation framework includes researching the implications of transformation. This stage is aimed at analyzing the necessities for adopting the change and its implication to organization health. This helps in deciding whether to adopt digital transformation or not, with the required supporting documentation. Analyzing internal business environment. This involves an in-depth analysis of what organizations can do to improve the current business processes. It helps to fetch the information regarding the key improvement areas of your business to increase the sales, performance, and customer experience. Analyzing range of transformation. This helps the organization to identify the changes in the processes or business that need to be made. These changes would include processes, list of activities, and business model changes. Process prioritization. The fourth step is all about prioritizing the process to gain maximum returns. This helps to fetch a clear roadmap for the identified changes. Publicizing the transformation. This stage involves publicizing the changes that an organization is trying to bring in the digital transformation front. Implementing the change. This stage involves implementing the changes that are planned and analyzing the impact. This helps to form a trained team that is capable of handling a digitally transformed business in the future. Production usage. The final step in the framework is about making the new system available for production usage. The helps in creating a clear rollout plan with clearly identified roles, responsibilities, and timelines. Organizations are focusing on their technology infrastructure to transform how they operate and engage with customers. They are adopting various digital technologies, such as cloud, big data and analytics, IoT, artificial intelligence, robotics and automation, blockchain. The adoption is based on the need of the organization to transform its internal capabilities to deliver superior customer experience. The organizations also need to set up dynamic business models using these technologies, which is done using the digital value chain. Digital value chain enables organizations to step up dynamic business models by identifying and implementing new value-creating activities and processes using digital technologies. It provides an approach to explore new opportunities for digital transformation in how businesses operate and serve their customers. The value chain separates business activities into primary and supporting activities. Digitally transformed value chain requires change both at operational and customer level. Operational level change involves automating the entire process, right from inbound logistics to services that ensure accuracy, speed, and transparency in the process. Customer level change involves radically transforming the approach for engaging with customers by using various digital levers across functions, such as product development, operations, sales, and customer services. It transforms customer engagement across different touchpoints by making it faster, cheaper, and quicker. Let's now look at the key aspects to build a digital capability across a company. Building digital capability requires capability development around three key dimensions. 1. Digital leadership. It involves building strategic depth and business acumen to lead digital transformation for clients. 2. Digital techno-functional. It involves building deep expertise in latest technologies, tools, and approaches focused on seamless execution for driving business outcomes and superior customer experience. 3. Digital culture and mindset. It involves creating the digital culture, or DNA, required to sustain performance in a world of technology, business, and workforce disruption. The technologies and approaches for the 3 dimensions are listed in the table. In this lesson, you have analyzed why a digital framework is so important to prepare for the big change. You will continue to understand this further in the next lesson. Now, let's summarize what you have learned. A digital transformation framework is the blueprint for an organization to move through a period of significant change caused by evolving business conditions. The framework provides the strategy and roadmap that allows organizations of all sizes to evolve and succeed in the rapidly changing market conditions that now exist. Digital value chain provides a framework to explore new opportunities for digital transformation in a business. Digital transformed value chain requires change both at operational and customer level. In this lesson, you will learn the importance of transforming into a digital mindset and its implication for your business. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to discuss what constitutes a digital mindset, describe how you can drive a digital culture within your organization, explain how to instill customer centricity through design thinking, describe how to foster innovation, collaboration, and agility across the ecosystem to deliver value to your customers. A mindset is an individual's fixed set of attitudes or opinions on a given topic. Digital mindset involves aligning the mindset to transform digitally. This change of mindset is a vital step before initiating the implementation process of digital transformation as businesses and individuals are being flooded with new products, platforms, and technologies every minute. Adapting to digital change requires changing the mindset of the stakeholders. The mindset change occurs from the top of the hierarchy. The leadership team should enable the people to accept the change. The transformation in any organization requires to be driven by change agents, called leaders. Leaders recognize the organization's purpose as well as the potential of available technologies. Leadership is born through dramatic periods of change. This calls for the leaders to have the appropriate mindset to begin with. They must create a team that is ready to adopt the digital transformation framework to meet the changing needs of their organization. Any organization can create a logical and pragmatic approach to drive success in this period of radical change by following the principles of the digital transformation framework. Let's now look at an example indicating the successful transformation story of one such organization. Audi received the Digital Transformation Award in Berlin. Matthias Albrecht, head of IT and organization, accepted the prize in the corporate culture category. The jury, composed of politicians, academicians, and business people, praised the holistic strategy that promoted the digital culture transformation in the entire company. Audi placed priority on a solution from one mold with cross connections and then fully integrated that solution. Audi employees at locations in Europe, Asia, and America communicate in various languages and across many time zones. At Audi, we have created a digital platform through which all our employees all over the world can be connected. We will only be flexible and innovative as an organization when we share our knowledge, stated Ulbrich. Modern forms of communication are crucial in order to work effectively and competitively in an era of digital transformation. Leaders are change agents and have a certain role to play. Their role is divided into two subsets. 1. Internal. Internal agents must recognize the technology needs of the organization and encourage teams to implement and adapt to the internal requirements. They must educate and inspire team members to evolve as change agents in the future. 2. External. While internal change agents take care of ongoing small digital updates, larger digital transformations require interaction with external change agents who are not part of the organization. These agents represent a community that has expertise with different technologies and can analyze the need in the organization. Let's look at one example. One of the success stories of digital transformation is that of Lego. Lego had gone bankrupt in 2004. After a steady decline of almost a decade, the company initiated restructuring and digital transformation and improved its revenue with new sources such as movies, mobile games, and applications. You have learned the role of a leader in bringing about a digital culture in an organization. Let's now look at a few of the areas in which the change should occur. The leadership role calls for a change in mindset in the following areas. 1. Risk-taking approach. 2. Cross-functional collaboration. 3. Flat hierarchy. 4. Agile dynamic work culture. 5. Adoption of new technology. 6. Data-driven process. 7. Encouragement for new ideas and innovation. Risk-taking approach. Digital disruption has made it important for companies to rethink their operations and the way they serve customers. To stay ahead in the competition, companies need to ensure that leaders are comfortable taking calculated risks to drive growth and achieve bolder targets. Leaders adopt a risk-taking approach that empowers them to break self-imposed limits and uncover unforeseen opportunities. This helps companies boost their self-confidence and be bolder in their aspirations and goals. Cross-functional collaboration. Today, the speed of market change requires rapid adaptation of products and services. Companies need to break down silos and boost cross-functional collaboration. The speed at which the market changes requires companies to combine their internal capabilities to address complex and specialized customer needs. This will ensure integrated value proposition, leading to first-time right delivery, and boost customer satisfaction. Flat hierarchy. Digital adoption calls for change in the hierarchical structure of the organization that were meant for times when the environment wasn't as fragile and demanding as it is today. Having a flat hierarchy is important as people from different backgrounds move from project to project in a fluid and agile way. For example, Visa's marketing organization is a case in point. Global payments has evolved with the entry of players such as Apple, Google, and Bitcoin. Visa needed to match the speed of the industry. It did so by shifting from a vertical department structure to a horizontal and project-based approach. We had to make the organization flatter and more fluid, said Laura Balaz, Senior Vice President and Head of North American Marketing. Agile and dynamic work culture. Evolving to compete in an increasingly digital world involves aligning goals of the organizations to meet the demands of the digital environment. It involves investing in digital opportunities for employees, streamlining organizational structures for agility, and applying the right technology. Organizations need to create an environment that ensures agility in the company's business operations, people, culture, and structure, and align it to organizational long-term digital goals. Adoption of new technology. Every organization has its unique digital strategy. Therefore, selection of the right tools and technology for the next 3 to 5 years is important when factoring the scope of digital. Organizations today are investing in solutions and platforms that support both front office, employee invoked, and back office, taken from a queue or on schedule, operations. This can be achieved by putting together a team of consultants who have a logical mindset, programming experience, and an interest in solving business challenges. Data-driven process. Data traffic is increasing at an exponential rate, and so are the opportunities. Business cases are being created for data-driven innovation processes. Companies are responding to the change in the consumer behavior pattern. Data capabilities are vital to ensure that there is room for technology and people. Continued advances in analytic capabilities allow companies to draw insights from massive, previously untapped sources, leading to new service possibilities. Encourage new ideas and innovation. Organizations are finding more innovative and collaborative ways of working to ensure that they remain focused on their customers over and above their internal processes. Innovation is seen as one of the winning approaches in the digital era. The resources spent on research and development of a product are justified when they result in service innovation to match business needs, personalize customer experience, and simplify and digitize the way services are delivered. This is regarded as the key to innovation. The next step is to implement these changes to bring about transformation. Transformation. An organization must have a holistic mindset toward technological progress. The transformation must be aligned with organizational purpose, embraced across the organization, and deeply integrated into the daily activities of all team members. This digital implementation and change in mindset can be categorized into 4 areas. 1. Data architecture. 2. Technology and processes. 3. Organization. 4. Marketing. Data architecture. Data architecture plays a very important role in creation of strategies from increasingly large and complex data volumes. It refers to a set of rules and policies that govern and define the type of data collected and stored and managed within an organization to govern its database. However, data architecture is seen as a top challenge for digitizing business, as most companies focus on getting the best technology without analyzing the need. This leads to redundant and inconsistent data storage. It brings in overlapping functionality and lack of sustainability in the process. To effectively create an end-to-end data architecture, an organization must adopt an IT-supported digitization to 1. Analyze current and future business requirements. 2. Sketch a flexible data management architecture. 3. Create a roadmap for implementation based on business usage. This approach is based on a continuous delivery model. IT teams that specialize in cross-functional management, automated systems, and optimized processes help to release and iterate a software quickly and efficiently. IT-based digitization involves creating a 2-phased environment that decouples legacy system to support 2 functions. 1. Critical functions that run at a slower pace. 2. Customer-facing interactions that run at a fast pace. Technology and processes. Digital implementation involves the process of integrating new technologies like chatbots, machine learning, and big data to meet the changing needs of customers. Marketing automation process is thereby adopted. This ensures optimum utilization of resources. Marketing automation is a software that automates the marketing process of an organization. It ensures that marketing tasks are prioritized and executed in a more streamlined and efficient way. Organization. Digital implementation in an organization is about analyzing and re-examining ways of doing business and being cautious of the new opportunities and threats in the emerging market. Digital in an organization is about creating value at the new frontiers of the business world, creating value in the process of overall buyer's journey that executes a vision of customer experiences, building foundational capabilities in the form of technology to support the entire structure. Marketing. The marketing approach of digital implementation involves integrating digital technologies into marketing of products and services, mainly on the internet. Digital integration with marketing enables organizations to provide personalized services to its customers across the marketing funnel stages. That is, 1. Awareness. 2. Interest. 3. Consideration. 4. Intent. 5. Evaluation. 6. Purchase. In the process of digital transformation, it's crucial to understand the actual human needs behind a product or service to create great experiences. The approach is often called design thinking. Let's understand it in detail. Design thinking is a system that uses the designer's sensibility and methods to match people's needs with what is technologically feasible and what a viable business can convert into customer value and market opportunity. Tim Brown, IDEO. Design thinking steps out of the traditional boxes with visual thinking, creativity, and innovation in order to find new solutions to the same old issues. 1. It focuses on the end user. Design thinking is an approach to solving problems that puts end users at the center of the process. The goal is to develop useful products and solutions that fit the needs of the user, not the other way around. The process is inherently human-centered, getting close enough to the users to see where their frustrations lie and how we can make their lives and experiences better and more fulfilling. 2. It leverages collective expertise. By building multidisciplinary teams and bringing many voices to the table, we break out of our respective fields and boxes to leverage our collective wisdom, experience, and expertise. 3. It employs empathy. Design thinking foundation is based on empathy. Usually referred as discovery or understanding, empathy means defining and identifying with the needs and challenges of the people, or users of a product, the experience, or the system. It focuses on testing. The philosophy of design, test, and iterate is central to the process. It allows you to have these completely unexpected breakthroughs by creating several rapid prototypes and encouraging fast feedback from actual users and customers before spending too much time, effort, or money on any one idea. It creates value while solving real problems. Design thinking is not about being creative and innovative. It's specifically directed at creating value and solving problems. It is about using a combination of traditional and new ways and using design principles to solve problems, from small to large, in almost any industry. The design thinking process has a series of steps that draws out users' needs along the lines of conversion and eventually provide the solution. This process has a user centricity that helps the innovator to gain a greater clarity and to generate viable, feasible, and desirable ideas. According to D-School, the 5 stages of digital thinking are as follows. 1. Empathizing with the users. This involves consulting experts to analyze the areas of concern, engaging with people to understand their experiences, and indulging in the physical environment to analyze the issues. 2. Defining the needs and problems of users and giving insights. This stage involves analyzing the observations and defining the problem clearly. The define stage helps the team to gather ideas and establish features. 3. Ideating is based on challenging assumptions and exploring ideas to find an innovative solution. 4. Prototype to start creating solutions. Once the solutions are finalized, the team creates prototypes that are shared across teams to identify any flaws. The solutions are implemented, investigated, improved upon, and re-examined on the basis of user experience. 5. Test solutions. This is the final stage and an iterative process that indicates the flaws from a user's perspective. Even during this phase, alterations and refinements are made in order to rule out problem solutions and derive as deep an understanding of the product and its users as possible. Design thinking is most relevant when designing and developing new solutions. It is applicable to the new product development, or NPD, stage. It is a creative problem-solving approach focused on continuous innovation, iteration, and improvement around customer needs. A customer-centric approach is followed during direction, design, and development stages. After this, validation of the process in the form of analysis is undertaken. Design thinking is therefore regarded as a non-linear, iterative approach that focuses on user needs, articulating frameworks, and formulating a strategy. It encourages a fast-acting learning cycle. Find new opportunities. Choose a strategic topic. Gather data. Evaluate the unmet needs. Reinvent new opportunities. Look for patterns and insights. Evaluate assumptions. Frame point of view. Define the scope of work. Incubate. Incubate your idea with all required needs. Keep on evaluating ideas to improve them. Ideate or illuminate. Experiment with your ideas. Explore new possibilities. Envision the future needs. Take measures to make your idea visible. Iterate and scale. Evaluate, learn, create, innovate. Deliver. Test the prototype. Approve. Launch. Testing. Evaluate from user's point of view. Refine and learn from end user. Improve the idea. Analyze the right approach based on the viability of the idea. Now, let us consider an example to understand how companies are using design thinking. SAP, a German software provider, uses design thinking as a way to tackle complex challenges and make its software more intuitive and easier to use. SAP, through its educational platforms such as Massive Open Online Courses, or MOOCs, made a deep ongoing commitment to reinforce design thinking. It trained thousands of design thinking coaches to enable customers to equally engage in experience design, and went on to create co-creation centers in different locations around the world. Hence, design thinking is an important aspect of digital transformation. Now, let's summarize what you have learned. Any organization can create a logical and pragmatic approach to drive success in this period of radical change by following the principles of the digital transformation framework. Leaders, or change agents, must work in two areas: internal and external. The leadership role calls for a change in mindset in the following areas: risk-taking approach, cross-functional collaboration, flat hierarchy, agile and dynamic work culture, adoption of new technology, data-driven process, encouragement of new ideas and innovation. Digital implementation and change in mindset can be categorized into four areas: data architecture, technology and processes, organization, and marketing. Design thinking is a system that uses the designer's sensibility and methods to match people's needs with what is technologically feasible and what a viable business can convert into consumer value and market opportunity. In this lesson, you will learn about the role and importance of business analytics in digital transformation. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to define big data and the 4 V's of big data, explain big data analytics and its importance, discuss different types of business analytics, describe the analytics process flow, explain how companies are using their big data to obtain business benefits. Disney has been creating magical guest experiences for over 90 years now. However, in the 2000s, as ticket prices climbed and the customer base increased, the sparkle on Disney's customer experience began to fade. In response, Disney created the Next Generation Experience project, aimed at creating personalized experiences for its guests. Disney launched My Magic Plus, which allows guests to book ride times, restaurant reservations, and shows in advance using the website. The mobile app allows guests to change reservations in real time as needed. The magic bands given to the guests act as admission tickets. These can also be connected to their credit cards for payment across the park and resorts. What do you infer from this instance? Disney's success story gives us insights into how technology proves very important in improving customer experience and in retaining customers. As Bob Iger, chairman and CEO of the Walt Disney Company, rightly said, technology is lifting the limits of creativity and transforming the possibilities for entertainment and leisure. In spite of the big customer base resulting in huge data, Disney was able to extract outcomes to create magic again. Without analyzing the data it had, it would have been difficult to provide any solution to the problem. From this example, you will have understood how crucial it is for businesses to manage their data flow and gain insights to improve their business using various technologies. Large organizations have a huge customer base, resulting in huge incoming data, also known as big data. The term big data represents extremely large data sets that may be analyzed computationally to reveal patterns, trends, and associations. It describes any voluminous amount of structured, semi-structured, and unstructured data that has the potential to be mined for information. Big data is defined by 4 important features, also known as the 4 V's. Let's look at what they are. One, volume refers to the scale of data. The main characteristic that makes data big is its sheer volume. Every day, there is an exponential rise in data volumes as organizations today have multiple internal and external sources, such as transactions, social media, enterprise content, sensors, and mobile devices. 2. Variety refers to the different forms of data. Data is captured from multiple sources in multiple formats. It can be structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. Structured data refers to information with a high degree of organization, so that inclusion in a relational database is seamless and readily searchable by simple, straightforward search engine algorithms or other search operations. Semi-structured data is a form of structured data that does not conform with the formal structure of data models associated with relational databases or other forms of data tables, but nonetheless contains tags or other markers. Unstructured data, or unstructured information, is information that either does not have a predefined data model or is not organized in a predefined manner. Velocity refers to the analysis of streaming data. Velocity is the frequency of incoming data that needs to be processed. Think about how many SMS messages, Facebook status updates, or credit card swipes are being sent on a particular telecom carrier every minute of every day, and you'll have a good appreciation of velocity. 4. Veracity refers to the uncertainty or trustworthiness of data. Every business now has access to a huge amount of data, both structured and unstructured, that can be increasingly utilized with big data analytical tools for harvesting insights and supporting business decisions. Big data technologies are considered a popular platform for data analytics and data exploration, and used to implement data mining techniques and data processing. It handles data at an extreme scale and is characterized by massive parallel computing to divide and conquer the workloads, flexibility to allow unlimited data manipulation and transformation. Big data technologies allow the organizations to make new kinds of predictions, uncover patterns in business activities, and unlock new sources of value. The scientific term is called data science. Data science, also known as data-driven science, is an interdisciplinary field of scientific methods, processes, algorithms, and systems to extract knowledge or insights from data in various forms, either structured or unstructured, similar to data mining. Data has today become a strategic asset to be mined for business intelligence and differentiate products in the market. With respect to data science, the key strategic assets are data, ability to extract useful information from data. Many businesses use data analytics to get value from the existing data and to generally consider if the business has the right analytical talent. Incorrect data and unsuitable data science talent result in poor business decisions. Data analytics is the discovery and communication of meaningful patterns in data to drive smart decisions. Companies are turning to different types of analytics solutions to uncover hidden patterns, meaning, and other insights from the huge volume of data to improve decision-making. To perform analysis of big data, companies use a robust analytic environment that includes 1. Descriptive analytics, 2. Predictive analytics, 3. Prescriptive analytics. Descriptive analytics uses tools like data aggregation and data mining. These are used to summarize the results. Predictive analytics uses statistical models and simulation, which help in making educated guesses at likely results. Prescriptive analytics uses tools like optimization models and heuristics that help to derive important, complex, and sensitive decisions. Now, let's understand the techniques used in each of the types. It is regarded as the first stage in analysis of data, which involves consolidation and summarization of data for further analysis. Descriptive analytics includes techniques that explain what has happened in the past. Reports, data mining techniques, descriptive statistics, data queries, data dashboards. The data that is received from descriptive analytics is further used for predictive analytics, where the objective is to predict future unforeseen events. Predictive analytics includes techniques that use models created from past data to predict the future or determine the impact of one variable on another. For instance, a company can create a mathematical model for predicting the future sales by using past data on product sales. A food manufacturing company can estimate the measurement and quantity of unit sales by using the point-of-sale scanner data from retail outlets. Prescriptive analytics specifies the best course of action for a business activity in the form of output of a prescriptive model. The models used in these analytics are called optimization models. They are mostly used in airline industry, help to fetch the best pricing strategy across flights through the analysis of revenue management models and past purchasing data. Finance, used to decide the mix of investments through the analysis of portfolio models that utilize historical investment return data. Let's understand the application of business analysis through an example. Earlier, credit cards essentially had uniform pricing because the companies did not have appropriate information systems to deal with differential pricing on a large scale. The bank management believed that customers would not accept price discrimination. Richard Fairbanks and Nigel Morris approached big banks to offer predictive modeling consulting. They finally got Signet Bank, a regional Virginia bank, to agree and convinced the bank that modeling profitability was the right strategy to get ahead. However, the bank had data only to model profitability for the terms it had offered in the past and types of customers who were offered credit. Using predictive modeling, the bank experimented by offering different terms to different customers at random, which increased the numbers of bad accounts. Changed to about 6% charge-offs from the prevailing charge-off. Worked toward building predictive models from the data, evaluating them, and then developing them to increase profits despite continuous losses. Eventually turned around the credit card portfolio into its most profitable operation. Now that you have learned about the importance of analytics, let's understand the analytics process flow. This is the analytics process flow diagram. Let's understand the steps in detail. Data source, ERP, CRM, Excel, etc. It acts as a primary location for the data source. It has numerous forms, like a dataset, a program, or perhaps hard-coded data. Organizations might leverage multiple sources of data together with ERP, CRM, and alternate systems. Data acquisition, or ETL. It involves extract, load, and rework. It is an information integration method for transferring raw data from supply systems to a target information and making the data ready for downstream uses, primarily in business intelligence and analytics applications. Data storage, or data warehousing. Data storage is the method of archiving data in electromagnetic or alternate forms by a laptop or associate degree device. Data warehouse is regarded as a central repository of integrated information from one or additional disparate sources. It is a system used for reportage and information analysis, and considered one of the core elements of business intelligence. Data analysis. Data analysis is the process of inspecting, cleansing, transforming, and modeling data with the goal of discovering useful information, suggesting conclusions, and supporting the decision-making process. Data visualization is the procedure of exhibiting and presenting data in a graphical format. It is used as a measure to deliver visual reports to users. It gives insights related to performance, operations, or general statistics of an application. Let's understand how companies deal with their big data to draw insights and how it has helped them. Rolls-Royce has put big data analytics to use in 3 key areas of its operations. 1. Design. 2. Manufacture. 3. After-sales support. Adopting this big data-driven approach has helped the company to diagnose faults, correct them, and prevent them from occurring again. It has also helped in taking the right business decisions, resulting in significantly reduced costs. Amazon, a pioneer in e-commerce, puts big data analytics to use in 2 key areas of its operations. 1. Data warehousing, or Redshift. 2. Hosted Hadoop solution, or Elastic MapReduce. It uses big data analytics to create a personalized recommendation system, improve customer service operations. This has helped Amazon to serve its customers effectively and improve sales. Now let's summarize what you have learned. Big data is a term that describes the large volume of data, both structured and unstructured, that inundates a business on a day-to-day basis. Volume, variety, velocity, and veracity are the 4 V's of big data. Analytics is the discovery and communication of meaningful patterns in data to drive smart decisions. To perform analysis of big data, companies use a robust analytic environment that includes descriptive analysis, predictive analysis, and prescriptive analysis. In this lesson, you will understand artificial intelligence and machine learning and its significance in digital transformation. At the end of the lesson, you will be able to Define artificial intelligence and machine learning. Explain the impact of machine learning on various industries. Discuss how to leverage machine learning. You have already learned how big data is exploding. Its analysis is becoming a tedious and time-consuming activity. There is real-time flow of all types of structured and unstructured data from social media, communication, transportation, sensors, and devices. Data science is moving toward a new paradigm where one can teach machines to learn from data and derive a variety of useful insights. This is known as artificial intelligence. Training machines can help in reducing human effort and can decrease the time required for analysis. Artificial intelligence refers to intelligence displayed by machines that simulates human intelligence. It is a broad term for smart machines that can perform human tasks that require cognitive, judgment-based decision-making. Artificial intelligence is live. With all the excitement and hype, you might not be aware that you are already using it in many ways. For instance, voice assistants like Apple Siri, Amazon Alexa, Microsoft Cortana, and Google Assistant are trained to understand human speech and intent. Based on human interactions, these chatbots take appropriate action. Gmail filters a new email into inbox or junk folder based on past information about what you consider spam. The predictions made by weather apps at a given time are based on some prior knowledge and analysis of how the weather has been over a period of time for a particular place. In addition to this, you will have also come across Google's AlphaGo AI, Amazon Echo product or home control chatbox device, self-driving cars, etc., which are excellent examples of artificial intelligence. Let's look at examples to understand the impact of artificial intelligence in our daily lives. Ever wonder how Amazon makes product recommendations? Amazon pulls in data from its user database to recommend products to users. It uses AI algorithms to predict what items the user may like based on the purchase history of similar classes of users. Also, more users generate more data, which helps enhance the recommendations even further. IBM Watson, a healthcare initiative by IBM, understands natural language and is capable of responding to questions asked of it. The system mines patient data and other available data sources to form a hypothesis, which it then presents with a scoring schema. Companies are even applying AI to make faster and better diagnoses than humans, with the objective to improve patient outcomes and reducing costs through different forms of AI. Let's learn about them in detail. Reactive machines. The most basic type of AI systems are purely reactive and have the ability neither to form memories nor to use past examples to inform current decisions. For example, IBM's chess-playing supercomputer can identify pieces on a chessboard to make predictions, but it has no memory and cannot use past experiences to inform future ones. Limited memory. These AI systems can use past experiences to inform future decisions. Some of the decision-making functions in autonomous vehicles have been designed this way. Observations are used to inform actions happening in the not-so-distant future, such as a car has changed lanes. These observations are not stored permanently. Theory of mind. This is a psychology term. It refers to the understanding that others have their own beliefs, desires, and intentions that impact the decisions they make. This is an important distinguishing factor between the machines now and the machines intended to be built in the future. Self-awareness. These AI systems have a sense of self and have consciousness. Machines with self-awareness understand their current state and can use the information to infer what others are feeling. Artificial intelligence and machine learning are often spoken of together. Let's understand how they are related. Machine learning is an application of artificial intelligence that provides systems the ability to automatically learn and improve from experience without being explicitly programmed. Machine learning focuses on the development of computer programs that can access data and use it to learn for themselves. Machine learning uses a number of theories and techniques from data science. Some of them include 1. Classification, 2. Categorization, 3. Clustering, 4. Trend analysis, 5. Anomaly detection, 6. Visualization, and 7. Decision making. Artificial intelligence and machine learning are being increasingly used in various industries. Let's look at its impact on industries. Travel. Expedia and other sites provide recommendations based on your search and booking history. They can even recommend alternative travel dates, destinations, and local sightseeing options based on your search queries. Expedia uses machine learning techniques and algorithms to make these recommendations. Insurance. Allstate, one of the largest insurance companies in the U.S., partnered with EIS to develop a virtual assistant called Able, the Allstate Business Insurance Expert, to assist Allstate agents who are seeking information on Allstate Business Insurance, or ABI, commercial insurance products. Able, who appears as an avatar, provides agents with step-by-step guidance for quoting and issuing ABI products using a natural language. Healthcare. Apixio, a cognitive computing firm, aims at improving accessibility of clinical knowledge from digitized medical records to improve healthcare decision-making. It has to deal with a huge amount of unstructured data, gaps in patient documentation, and inaccuracies in disease prevalence and treatment. Apixio introduced machine learning techniques to aggregate data across the population and derive insights around disease prevalence and treatment patterns. Banking. Bank of America Corporation recently made a bold push into AI technology with the debut of an intelligent virtual assistant named Erica. Erica is a chatbot that leverages predictive analytics and cognitive messaging to provide financial guidance to the company's over 45 million customers. All these predictions and recommendations are based on various machine learning methods. Let's learn them. 1. Supervised learning. Supervised learning is a type of machine learning used to learn models from labeled training data. It allows us to predict output for future or unseen data. For example, voice assistants like Apple Siri, Amazon Alexa, Microsoft Cortana, and Google Assistant are trained to understand human speech and intent. Based on human interactions, these chatbots take appropriate action. 2. Unsupervised learning. Unsupervised learning is a subset of machine learning used to extract inferences from datasets that consist of input data without labeled responses. For example, an online news portal segments articles into various categories, like business, technology, sports, etc. This is based on clustering, which is one of the most popular techniques of unsupervised learning. Reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is a type of machine learning that allows the learning system to observe the environment and learn the ideal behavior based on trying to maximize some notion of cumulative reward. For example, manufacturing units use robots to identify a device from one box and put it in a container. The robot learns this by means of a reward-based learning system, which incentivizes it for the right action. Now that you have learned about the various methods, let's understand how machine learning can be leveraged to provide effective outcomes. Leveraging machine learning and combining it with existing enterprise data enables a new generation of applications that are able to analyze and gain insights from large volumes of multi-structured machine data. The insights from analytics. Empower the C-suite that acts as a reassurance to the decision makers. Improve reliability and help identify failures. Speed operations to improve flow of operations by reducing bottlenecks and problems. Monitor and visualize data. Help to monitor end-to-end infrastructure and provide real-time alerts. The strength of machine learning lies in the fact that humans do not have to feed the algorithm like in traditional programming. The computer learns by itself, which saves effort and brings more accuracy and transparency. Now let's summarize what you have learned. Artificial intelligence refers to intelligence displayed by machines that simulates human intelligence. Machine learning is an approach or subset of artificial intelligence that is based on the idea that machines can be given access to data along with the ability to learn from it. Leveraging machine data and combining it with existing enterprise data enables a new generation of applications that are able to analyze and gain insights from large volumes of multi-structured machine data. This improves results. In this lesson, you will learn about the role and importance of blockchain and IoT and their significance in business. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to explain blockchain and its advantages, discuss how industries are using blockchain technology, define IoT and its advantages, describe how industries are using IoT technology. Bitcoin is one of the most popular digital currencies available on the market today. With the current increase in marketability of this cryptocurrency, people are curious to know about its origin. Bitcoin transactions are recorded and transferred employing a distributed ledger on a peer-to-peer network that's open, public, and anonymous. Blockchain is the underpinning technology that maintains the Bitcoin transaction ledger. A blockchain is a distributed, secure, and transparent system of record containing a log of transactions shared across a digital network. Each node on the network contains a complete replica of the blockchain data. Blockchain attributes include distributed ledger. It is the digital version of ledger to track and monitor data. Peer-to-peer transactions. These are transactions where trading takes place directly between two parties. Cryptography. It is the process in which the information embedded in block is validated by the network nodes using cryptographic techniques. Distributed ledger is the most used blockchain attribute. Let's look at the components of distributed ledger. The 5 components of distributed ledger are 1. The network of nodes. It is composed of the members and computers of the network. Nodes are responsible for the maintenance of the ledger and the verification of transactions. 2. Tokens. They are used as unit of exchange or account in distributed ledger transactions. They are mostly referred to as cryptocurrency or digital currency. 3. The structure. It defines how transactions are stored in the ledger. Most prominent is a concept called a blockchain. A blockchain consists of electronically chained blocks that contain the transaction records of a given time period. As blockchain sums up all block, it represents the whole ledger. 4. The consensus mechanism. It prevents double spending and determines the correct version of the ledger. Double spending occurs if particular tokens are spent twice. 5. Rules. They set out a protocol for interactions between participants. 2 of the most influential protocols are seen on the Bitcoin and Ripple networks. Whereas Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency with a built-in payment system, Ripple is a payment system for arbitrary assets. The 2 protocols differ in their consensus mechanism, transaction fee policy, creation of new tokens, and other aspects. Let's look at the advantages of blockchain. As a peer-to-peer network, combined with a distributed timestamping server, blockchain databases can be managed autonomously to exchange information between disparate parties. Blockchain networks can be used for smart contracts or scripts that automatically execute when certain conditions are met. The advantages of blockchain technology is leveraged in two categories. 1. Public blockchains allow anyone who is part of the consensus process to view or send transactions. 2. Private blockchains restrict the ability to write to a distributed ledger to one organization. Now that you have learned the basics of blockchain technology, let's look at how blockchain technology works. Blockchain leverages a decentralized network of computers that conduct intermediary tasks over the internet. All transactions are recorded into a digital ledger, which is publicly available and fully distributed to all members of the network. The distributed ledger approach eliminates the need for a trusted third party. As each network member holds a valid copy of the ledger, the network itself is able to certify asset ownership and clear transaction, providing a mechanism that offers higher security than the current central ledger approach. Transactions are visible to all network participants and are immutable once recorded. The distributed ledger approach could increase transaction speed and decrease costs because operations are performed peer-to-peer between the corresponding parties, rather than indirectly through trusted third parties. The application of blockchain is not limited to Bitcoin and Ripple. It has a crucial role to play in all sectors. Let's analyze the applications of blockchain beyond the financial industry. Logistics management and supply chain auditing. Blockchains can play a very important role in enhancing the security and efficiency of the storage or transfer of products, perishable goods in particular. Right from packing and storage to quality testing and distribution, every activity can be recorded on the distributed ledger, and all concerned parties on the network will be notified about the activities. The data that has to be entered by users will vary across the different stages of the supply chain. With blockchains, auditing and establishing the authenticity of each step in the logistics system become easier and way smarter than ever before. For example, Belgium-based Port of Antwerp, the second largest port in Europe by container capacity, is running a pilot blockchain project focused on logistics automation. Healthcare. Blockchain helps in handling e-medical records accurately and securely, and also enables the creation of smarter health information exchange models. For example, Simply Vital Health is using blockchain technology in its new products, Connecting Care and Health Nexus, to streamline data and records to save time and money. Utilities. Blockchain has helped in empowering and encouraging prosumers by building a trustless energy market and transaction settlement system on blockchain, creating assets tracking management by building the underlying network of IoT devices on Ethereum blockchains with smart contracts, enabling metering technology for immutable and transparent metering, and also auto-linkage of meters with consumers' digital wallets. Better power distribution and supply and demand balancing by blockchain-enabled system for connected grids and real-time information flow. EV charging and sharing using e-wallets for on-the-go transactions for electric charging, parking fees, and vehicle sharing. More efficient consumption driven by a blockchain-based trading platform where consumers can sell additional units of energy, thereby reducing excessive consumption. Automated payment settlements in crypto tokens using smart contracts on the basis of actual usage measured on blockchain-enabled meters. Like blockchain, IoT is also an evolving technology that enables people to build and create technology for the big change. Let's discuss IoT in detail. Internet of Things is the network or systems of interrelated computing devices, sensors, or other objects that have unique identifiers and can communicate with other devices on the network. The integration of IoT technology in one's business has many benefits. It helps businesses in making more informed decisions, aided by the torrent of interactional and transactional data at their disposal. Helps companies improve performance through IoT analytics and IoT security to deliver better results. Provides a platform for devices to represent themselves digitally and to control them from anywhere. Facilitates connectivity by enabling to capture more data from different places, ensuring more ways of increasing efficiency and improving safety and security. Let's understand how industries are leveraging this technology. Insurance. Erie, an American multi-line insurance company, uses IoT-enabled drones for inspecting property in the event of a damage claim. The use of drone has benefited in many ways, from speeding up the claim process and looking at damage without endangering employees, to getting a clearer picture of potentially fraudulent cases. Connected homes adoption helps customers in product bundling through inclusion of home sensors along with non-insurance value-added home maintenance services during the policy purchase journey. For insurers, claims processing in this kind of product becomes simple as loss notification is routed automatically through sensors rather than the traditional way, where the insured reports the loss manually by filing a claim. Usage-based insurance. Auto insurance segments enables personalization, including being able to provide value-added services to customers. This is achieved through tracking vehicle data on driving patterns with the help of telematics devices fitted to the insured's vehicle. As a result, the insured needs to pay premium only for the actual distance traveled. This advancement, in turn, enables insurers to retrofit their overall pricing and improve relevant loss adjustment expenses. Commercial insurers, who traditionally underwrite multi-location industrial units and heavy-duty machines and boiler units, are now experiencing the power of industrial connected devices capable of transmitting and communicating information in real time. These devices help insurers adopt a dynamic rating model that enables risk-based pricing for customers. This IoT-enabled approach accumulates new data points at frequent intervals by integrating property and location-specific attributes with traditional risk data. This, in turn, enables better risk evaluation, leading to effective risk management and loss minimization practices for insurers. Commercial property insurers, using location-enabled GIS devices, can now access advanced data to accurately assess risk exposure and use it to baseline their pricing in advance. Similarly, technology like drones can enable timely underwriting and risk inspections, including providing proactive loss notification or mitigation alerts during catastrophic events. Wearables that transmit the insured's fitness data on a regular basis help them avail pricing discounts in terms of health, disability, and accident insurance. Royal Bank of Scotland has an integrated RBS Assist chatbot for banking FAQs to DBS using Kasisto's Kai AI platform that allows customers to conduct transactions like transfers and pay bills. Travel and hospitality. Starwood and Hilton introduced IoT-based mobile keys. Guests no longer need to wait in queues at the front desk. With a mobile app integration, guests are notified when their room is ready. Once at the room, guests simply wave their phone in front of the lock to open the door. Mobile keys increase guest satisfaction and the likelihood of a customer booking a room through the hotel's app or website. Healthcare. Startups like Augmetics and Oba are using connected objects to improve the delivery of healthcare in hospitals and clinics and track treatment to boost the effectiveness of healthcare providers. This is done using smart glass wearables like Google Glass that is used for healthcare charting. Underwriting. The convergence of different data types leads directly to increased precision in assessing risk, pricing policies. There are clear advantages over current approaches, which rely on backward-looking claims data and historical risk studies. Through constant monitoring, underwriters can recommend real-time pricing and policy term modifications. They can also model the impact of new health and well-being services to manage mortality and morbidity risk over time. Let us summarize what you have learned. A blockchain, originally blockchain, is a continuously growing list of records, called blocks, which are linked and secured using cryptography. As a peer-to-peer network, combined with a distributed timestamping server, blockchain databases can be managed autonomously to exchange information between disparate parties. Blockchain networks can be used for smart contracts or scripts that automatically execute when certain conditions are met. Internet of Things is an ecosystem of connected physical objects that are accessible through the Internet. In this lesson, you will learn about robotics process automation and importance of its adoption in business. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to define robotic process automation, or RPA. List the benefits of robotic process automation. Explain the 3 stages of RPA solution. Describe RPA implementation process. Discuss the popular RPA vendors and their tools and platform. It might seem that we are living too far from the sci-fi future where robot doctors treat patients, clean houses, or drive spaceships. This future is closer than you think. Robotics today is a hot field with investment dollars lavishly going to both hardware companies and software labs working on improved machine learning solutions and advanced AI. According to IDC, the robot market will be worth $135 billion by 2019. Japan and China are ahead of the competition and are now in the early stages of retooling its manufacturing sector with completely robotic workforce. Google has just given $1.5 million to fund a U.S. research group applying tactile learning to robots. Robotic process automation is a form of automation where intelligent software processes, referred to as robots, take over repetitive and rule-based tasks that would have been otherwise performed by human beings. As opposed to industrial robots, RPA robots automate and administer processes such as business, IT support, workflow, remote infrastructure, back office work. Institute for Robotic Process Automation and Artificial Intelligence defines robotic process as the application of technology that allows employees in a company to configure computer software, or a robot, to capture and interpret existing applications for processing a transaction, manipulating data, triggering responses, and communicating with other digital systems. RPA provides flexibility and scalability, prevents employee burnout by automating labor-intensive tasks, provides faster turnaround time in processes, helps in increasing productivity and accuracy, helps in reducing processing costs, helps in making processing times predictable and consistent, improves regulatory compliance. RPA is emerging as a disruptive technology solution, offering multiple benefits. It has already impacted organizations deploying virtual workforces. It is impacting industries in areas such as customer order processing, credit card applications, shipping, system access and setup, payroll processing, call center operations, complaints processing, statement reconciliation, benefits administration, claims processing, data migration and management, IT and infrastructure support. Let's discuss examples of a few organizations where RPA has provided meaningful solutions to facilitate the transformation. Banking. Deutsche Bank is using RPA to increase efficiency and effectiveness in its back-office administration. Dean Masboudi, the head of Innovation Lab in New York, stated that RPA tools, when coupled with cognitive capabilities, are capable of transforming repetitive manual work to automation. RPA has helped in automating functions in trade finance, cash operations, loan operations, and much more. It has also reduced the time to train the employees, thus ensuring efficient work delivered in less time. Logistics. Amazon is practicing the effective use of robotics in logistics with the purchase of Kiva Systems, which was renamed to Amazon Robotics. It has outfitted several U.S. warehouses with squat, orange, wheeled robots that move stocked shelves to workers instead of having employees seek items amid long aisles of merchandise, according to people familiar with the matter. The robots have helped Amazon to save fulfillment costs by reducing the number of times a product is touched. Healthcare. Transcentrix, a medical device company, is using robotics to improve minimally invasive surgery by addressing the clinical and economic challenges associated with current laparoscopic and robotic options. RPA provides solutions to almost all the industries across the globe. The benefits of RPA solutions can be leveraged in 3 stages. Let's look into each stage in detail. Stage 1. This RPA stage involves dealing with static rules and structured data. Tasks like data entry and validation are automated in this stage. This stage helps in decreasing the cycle times. Stage 2. This stage of RPA primarily consists of implementation of some form of natural language processing capabilities. Tasks such as content analytics and process automation are performed in this stage to ensure flexibility, scalability, and accuracy. Stage 3. Stage 3 of RPA consists of advanced natural language processing and cognitive capabilities. It includes RPA systems capable of human-like decision-making. This stage helps improve employee morale and brings in detailed data capture. Once you approve RPA to be the solution for your needs, you must consider numerous factors before its implementation. Each RPA process depends on the needs and maturity of your organization, and its implementation is a 5-step process. Let's learn about it in detail. Step 1. Assess opportunities of automation. It involves 1. Listing down the processes that best fit the automation. 2. Evaluating the relevance of different process for pilot project. 3. Analyzing how to engage process owners to try automation. 4. Anticipating the results of the pilot project on automation. Step 2. Develop the prototype of business. It involves 1. Analyzing significance of automation to business needs. 2. Evaluating the pros and cons of the adoption of automation. 3. Examining how it will alleviate the pain areas. 4. Listing down the metrics to validate the automation. 5. Creating strategy for using existing resources after automation. Step 3. Determine the most efficient operating model. It involves 1. Evaluating the relevance of different operating models. 2. Determining the availability of human resources to take the work forward. 3. Examining the number of people that will be required to manage and monitor the software robot. Step 4. Identify automation partners. It involves 1. Discovering the main vendors in the RPA space. 2. Determining the vendors that suit your needs. 3. Analyzing the sourcing options. 4. Determining the metrics that will facilitate comparison of different pricing models. Step 5. Plan framework for automation. It involves 1. Determining the time frame of pilot project. 2. Evaluating the stages after the pilot project. 3. Analyzing the scale of strategy execution. 4. Creating a framework for the stakeholders to justify why it is important to automate. There are different RPA tools that facilitate this implementation process. Let's learn about them. To extend the field of application of RPA tools, leading vendors are investing in cognitive technologies such as machine learning, speech recognition, natural language processing. 3 vendors that have developed RPA tools with cognitive capabilities are 1. Automation Anywhere, 2. Blue Prism, 3. UiPath. Let's learn about them in detail. Automation Anywhere has developed computer vision technologies and machine learning capabilities in-house. The company has used natural language processing techniques in loan processing, which extract sediments from supporting documentation in order to establish loan applicants' creditworthiness. Products developed by this vendor are as follows. 1. Automation Anywhere Enterprise. 2. IQBot. 3. Bot Insight. 4. Bot Farm. Blue Prism's cognitive strategy centers on partnering with cognitive technology specialists. The company has proclaimed a partnership with IBM Watson with the goal of desegregation of cognitive technologies into method flows. They offer associate degree intelligence, connectedness, and ease of usage to digital personnel integrated with technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and sediment analysis. Their latest product is Blue Prism V6. UiPath is working with cognitive technology tools from third parties, including open source machine learning libraries, to craft point solutions for clients. The company has developed various platforms and tools, including Orchestrator, Robot, and Studio. In this lesson, you have learned how robotics is the future of transformation. Let's summarize what you have learned. Robotic process automation is the application of technology that allows employees in a company to configure computer software, or a robot, to capture and interpret existing applications for processing a transaction, manipulating data, triggering responses, and communicating with other digital systems. Robotic process automation provides solution in 3 stages. Stage 1 involves dealing with static rules and structured data. Stage 2 primarily consists of implementation of some form of natural language processing capabilities. Stage 3 consists of advanced natural language processing and cognitive capabilities. 3 vendors that have developed RPA tools with cognitive capabilities are Automation Anywhere, UiPath, and Blue Prism. In this lesson, you will understand cloud and DevOps and their applications. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to discuss the meaning and definition of cloud computing, list the benefits and use cases of cloud computing, identify the service and deployment models of cloud computing, understand how cloud computing is changing the landscape, explain the association between cloud computing and digital transformation, Describe the meaning of DevOps. Analyze the relationship between cloud, DevOps, and digital. Most of us use cloud computing all day long without realizing it. For instance, preparing documents over the net. All you need to do is log into a web-based service like Google Documents, and you can create documents, spreadsheets, and presentations. You don't even need to save your progress periodically. Cloud computing is an integral part of development for all organizations, as it facilitates scaling and helps in reducing costs. Now let's understand what cloud computing means. Cloud computing can be referred to as storing and accessing data and programs over the internet instead of your computer's hard drive. It delivers computing services such as servers, storage, databases, networking, software, and analytics over the internet. It is a metaphor for the internet. The availability of high-capacity networks and low-cost computers and storage devices, as well as the widespread adoption of hardware virtualization, has led to its growth. Cloud computing helps in elimination of hardware and software costs, speeding up of processes, quick and easy disaster recovery, secure data centers, elimination of maintenance costs, global scale of operations, easier data backup. The benefits of cloud computing can be leveraged to store, backup, and recover data, host websites and blogs, stream audio and video, deliver software on demand, analyze data for patterns, and make predictions, serve as a virtual desktop, offer disaster recovery, make applications scalable. The implementation of this technology is done in the following cloud service models: SaaS, CRM, email, virtual desktop, games; PaaS, execution runtime, database, web server; IaaS, virtual machines, servers, network. The development of cloud computing takes place across the following 4 stages: public cloud, private cloud, community cloud, hybrid cloud. Now that you have understood the development methods of cloud computing, let's understand how cloud computing is changing the digital landscape. Companies are starting to recognize that new tech trends are leading to a new operational model: the direct contribution of technology to overall business outcomes. CompTIA's 2017 research report, Building Digital Organizations, says, while the new era of IT is being driven by new technology, in particular cloud computing and mobile devices, digital tools are only one part of digital transformation. Another report by International Data Corporation, or IDC, predicted that, by the end of 2017, 70% of the Global 500 will build dedicated teams focused on digital transformation and innovation. Now, let's have a look at some of the examples of brands leveraging the technology. Many messaging tools and network-based communication applications like Skype, WhatsApp, email, and calendar are based on cloud infrastructure. All the information and messages are stored on the service provider's hardware rather than on the user's personal device. This enables the users to access this information from any device over the internet. After learning the importance of cloud computing, let's establish the implication of cloud services to digital transformation. Cloud services effectively offer unlimited and dynamic IT resources, form the foundation of digital transformation, and can facilitate rapid business change. The cloud provides a good starting point that can ultimately create a digital business in a dynamic environment. Entertainment. In 1997, introduction of monthly subscription concept for DVD rentals led to growth of subscribers to 1 million within 6 years. In 2004, non-linear TV applications took over linear television and brick-and-mortar Netflix stores, which led to sudden decrease in DVD by mail and subscription revenue. The next transformation took place in 2007, where video streaming was introduced with deep insights on preferences. Shows were produced based on customer preferences. This transformation led to increase of 109.25 million streaming subscribers worldwide. Also, a collection of 6,500 movies and 1,700 shows were streamed globally. Netflix leverages this potential of cloud computing to its advantage. Due to its on-demand streaming service, it faces large surges in server load at peak times. The move to migrate from in-house data centers to cloud allowed the company to significantly expand its customer base without having to invest in setup and maintenance of costly infrastructure. Insurance. Allstate is using cloud computing, mostly in the form of Software as a Service, or SaaS. The unit, called CompoZ Labs, within its technology uses Pivotal Cloud Foundry, a software workbench for building applications that can run on a company's internal servers or on third-party public cloud infrastructure. Healthcare. McKesson, the largest U.S. pharmaceutical distributor, has developed a fully integrated, cloud-based sourcing solution designed to completely automate the healthcare supply chain. Users of the new solution will have access to information on critical medical surgical supplies, high-cost physician preference items, and group purchasing or self-contracted items through a private marketplace. Travel. The best example in travel industry relates to Amadeus. It has transformed travel industry services with private cloud. Amadeus implemented an enterprise private cloud to meet the evolving needs of internal and external customers. Customers required rapid access to IT resources and services, end-to-end automation for contiguous integration, and continuous delivery, or CI/CD, support for next-generation cloud-native applications, and high availability for applications and services. Amadeus has vastly increased its flexibility and its business agility, enabling users to spin up workloads with all associated virtual networks and security services on demand, without manual intervention or time-consuming processes. Banking. Bank of America uses Microsoft Cloud to deliver new business efficiencies, support digital culture change, and meet customer needs effectively. Bank of America will take advantage of the combined power of the Microsoft Cloud for business transformation. Microsoft Office 365 will provide modern, cloud-based productivity and collaboration tools to some of the bank's 200,000 employees. The firm will also utilize Microsoft Azure, capitalizing on the scale, economics, and intelligent capabilities of the platform and services. Let's now discuss the significance of DevOps in digital transformation. DevOps stands for Development Operations. It is a practice of optimizing development and operations activities through structured processes, automation, and collaboration. It aims to synergize processes between development and operations teams to make them more efficient. Organizations across sectors are realizing the transformative power of digital. However, while there is increased appreciation of digital role, many organizers are struggling to take their transformation initiatives to the next level. They are caught struggling for pace and risk falling in the chasm between initiation and termination of transformation initiatives, as well as are missing key ingredients like DevOps. DevOps is all about speed, quality, and value for money, while cloud is the main vehicle for the digital masters to provision applications and infrastructure capabilities in an agile, flexible, and speedy way. These technologies form the basis of all technical transformations. DevOps integration will benefit the company in three key areas: Technical benefits: continuous software delivery, less complexity to manage, faster resolution of problems. Cultural benefits: happier, more productive teams, higher employee engagement, greater professional development opportunities. Business benefits: faster delivery of features, more stable operating environments, improved communication and collaboration. DevOps integration calls for a fundamental change in the way the enterprise is structured. It will also change the way of communication within the development team in many valuable ways. It ensures deliverables are completed in minimum amount of time. The DevOps approach brings changes in the following areas. Effective code management. This refers to a process where the development team needs to feed in the raw code once and leave it for testing. DevOps ensures that developers perform rapid integration testing that reduces errors and time taken for launch. Rapid processes. The key benefit of employing DevOps is the frequent feedback loops. When software developers are encouraged to quickly produce a minimal viable product, testing happens sooner and important feedback is sent back to the developers immediately. Prompt configuration management. This solves the problem where coding had to be tested in different environments, which was a time-consuming process. With DevOps, companies now benefit from cloud vendors. In particular, Platform as a Service, or PaaS. PaaS automatically provides the appropriate runtime container and middleware services for an application in a consistent environment across the application lifecycle, minimizes the cost of downtime, and abstracts applications from infrastructure dependencies. You have seen how cloud and DevOps are an integral part of digital transformation. Now, let's summarize what you have learned. Cloud computing can be referred to as storing and accessing data and programs over the internet instead of your computer's hard drive. Cloud services offer unlimited and dynamic IT resources and form the foundation of digital transformation. DevOps is a practice of optimizing development and operations activities through structured processes, automation, and collaboration. There is an increased appreciation of role of the digital with cloud and DevOps entering the scene. DevOps is the main vehicle for the digital masters to provision applications and infrastructure capabilities in an agile, flexible, and speedy way. In this lesson, you will learn about digital marketing and its significance in digital transformation. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to explain marketing automation and remarketing, list the trends of digital marketing, describe how digital marketing impacts industries. People are consuming digital content on a daily basis. Very soon, traditional marketing platforms will disappear, and the digital market will completely take over. There are a number of advantages to digital marketing. Unlike traditional marketing, digital marketing is more affordable. Technological advances have resulted in considerable attrition of the customer base of traditional marketing agencies and departments. People have moved on to tablets, phones, and computers, which are areas where digital marketers have gained the most ground. Let's understand how companies are leveraging digital technology in their business. Mumsnet, one of the largest parenting sites in the UK, is creating personalized experiences through automation. If you are pregnant and share details with Mumsnet, it will send you email newsletters about different stages of pregnancy. The pregnancy newsletter is fully automated and uses the mother's due date to send relevant emails. This is also a great example of how companies leverage marketing automation. What is marketing automation? Marketing automation is the process of using software to automate marketing actions. Many marketing departments have to automate repetitive tasks, such as emails, social media, and other website actions to make tasks easier. Marketing is not once for all. It has to be channelized and updated in a timely manner to ensure proper conversion. According to a recent survey, 96% of visitors leave without converting. 43% of companies use remarketing for online brand awareness and recognition, and 56% of companies use remarketing to attract customers. This establishes the significance of remarketing in business. So what is remarketing? Remarketing is a tool that allows a marketer to continue the conversation with a user and increase the likelihood of a conversion or sale, as well as enhance the lifetime value of a customer. The different types of remarketing include 1. Search, 2. Display, 3. Video, 4. Social. Remarketing allows you to recapture users whom you worked so hard to get to visit your site. Remarketing can be utilized to measure and improve offline campaigns. It helps to provide insight into offline performance. It helps in trapping users online and communicating more effectively. Now that we have analyzed the different terms used in digital marketing, let's look at a few trends that industries are using to leverage the most of this technology. Integrating marketing activities into the customer lifecycle. It involves techniques such as mapping customer journeys to personas. This supports processes that help to define the most relevant communications and experiences for different touchpoints in the customer journey. Integrating personalization into customer experience refers to website personalization. It includes content or commerce management systems, analytics solutions, or standalone software as a service, or SaaS, personalization options that integrate with CMS and analytics, integrating machine learning into market automation. It involves integrating email automation into the business. It can be done using machine learning as it offers opportunities to automate targeting. Integrating social media apps into communication. The increasing use of messaging apps is a trend. According to the latest Ofcom communications market research, more than half of the total mobile audience used Facebook Messenger, 61%, and half used WhatsApp, 50%. Social messaging apps can be integrated into communication for better reach. Integrating video into the customer journey. Fueled by social media, video is also increasing in popularity. It provides opportunities to use video marketing through the customer lifecycle, from ads in YouTube, explainer ads on site, and retargeting through video. Integrating content marketing into the customer journey using a customer engagement strategy. This is usually done using content as a strategic resource. It involves developing a customer engagement strategy using different media and developing content for different audiences using techniques like personas and content mapping. Integrating search marketing into your content marketing activities. Integrating search marketing into your content marketing activities helps in the organic development of the business. Choosing the right keywords increases the chance of getting ranked in a better and faster way. Integrating marketing technology. It refers to integrating insights from different paid media ad serving tools. You will get the best results if you manage the tools separately. Integrating different data sources. It involves simplifying the integration process using different insights and automation tools. Integrating digital marketing insights. It involves an analytical approach to working. This can be done using free and paid sources to gain insights on digital marketing. Now that we have learned the trends of digital marketing, let's understand how it impacts various industries. Fashion. Vogue, a leading magazine brand, teamed up with Bollywood's popular actor Deepika Padukone for a social media awareness campaign. Vogue's #MyChoice and #VogueEmpower speak about women's choice for equality. These initiatives have garnered a lot of attention on all social media platforms as they continue to influence women from both urban and rural areas. Housing. Housing.com created the campaign Look Up and underwent change with a new logo and an optimistic brand identity. The brand generated responses with #LookUpMoments, where people shared their pictures and kept up the momentum. This is how the campaign looks.
We begin with a search for the why, the how, the where. A search for the endless sparks of possibilities, sparks that drive us on to seek a better life, sparks that live not just in some, but in each and every one of us. In this time and place, the possibilities are endless. Our vision is a world of boundless optimism, where we all look up, live better, live positively. Why do we do what we do? For the very same reason we always have, for ourselves, our loved ones, our nation, our world. People are the why. Look up is the how. Let's embrace the future full of possibilities that have never been before. Let's find answers to our search and make our aspirations a reality. Look up. Housing.
Insurance. Aviva's customer marketing director, Lindsay Forrester, is leading the insurance company through its first global brand positioning strategy as it moves to digital first and prepares to disrupt across several categories. This has helped in enabling people to see all the products and services in one place. Travel. ClearTrip was once struggling with conversions as there was a saturation in online conversations. The company leveraged mobile interface and social media in order to reach out to the customers, which helped in achieving better results. Banking. Social media strategies that include #YesBankMaximum and YesTag, or social banking app, have helped Yes Bank to make a unique place for itself in the minds of consumers via its digital ecosystem. Yes Bank, at Yes Bank, today is the most followed bank in the world. It has over 1 million followers on Twitter and over 4 million fans on Facebook. Healthcare. I Am Care, a Swiss healthcare company, integrated inbound marketing in its marketing strategy. This helped in increasing the total leads from the visitors by 347%. Let's summarize what you have learned. Marketing automation is the software that exists with the goal of automating marketing actions. Remarketing is a tool that allows a marketer to continue the conversation with a user and increase the likelihood of a conversion or sale, as well as enhance the lifetime value of a customer. Marketing is not once for all. It has to be channelized and updated in a timely manner to ensure proper conversion. Search, display, video, and social are the types of remarketing.
This lesson aims to introduce some of the key elements of those technologies and concepts. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to explain what virtual reality and augmented reality are, discuss how VR and AR are used in different industries and applications, outline the future of VR and AR.
Let's briefly and gently introduce you to virtual reality and augmented reality, because you might be in for a shock. Tesla suit is probably the most sophisticated example of virtual reality gears. It's the first full-body suit that enhances virtual and augmented reality experiences by synergizing 4 elements: haptics, temperature control, biometric feedback, and motion tracking. Haptics provides an immersive VR experience by allowing you to feel the subtlest of sensations and changes in physical conditions as though you live them. Temperature control allows you to recreate a range of hot and cold physical environments. Biometric feedback documents bodily responses to physical environments and psychological conditions. Motion tracking helps record expert movements in a virtual environment to facilitate training. These technologies are changing the way training is provided for diverse enterprise requirements. And so you're definitely going to see their impact in all facets of your life. So let's take a closer look at VR. Virtual reality is an experience in a simulated and immersive environment that can be similar to or completely different from the real world. Applications of virtual reality are found in defense, entertainment, and education, but as we'll see, the virtual world is your oyster. There are almost limitless possibilities. As is often the case, new technologies are introduced through games. Microsoft introduced Flight Simulator in 1982. At the time, this was the closest to virtual reality you could get. It stretched the limits of computer capabilities and was often used as a benchmark for judging the capability of personal computers. The goal of Flight Simulator was to replicate and recreate an immersive experience of flying planes. However, we've come a long way from those days. Today, if you want the experience of flying an A380 from New York to Paris, you can do it using VR, as shown in this video. So that was VR for you. Augmented reality, on the other hand, is an interactive experience of a real-world environment in which objects from the real world are enhanced by computer-generated perceptual information, sometimes across multiple sensory modalities, including visual, auditory, haptic, somatosensory, and olfactory. The somatosensory system is that part of the sensory system concerned with the conscious perception of touch, pressure, pain, temperature, position, movement, and vibration, which arise from the muscles, joints, and skin. This system is particularly essential to creating a truly immersive experience. Pokémon Go took the world by storm in July 2016. The mobile phone game creates an augmented reality experience. Players can explore the real world while chasing little critters in the augmented world. In a way, this game served the same purpose that Minesweeper did in 1990, when Microsoft introduced it to get users accustomed to a new technology. Minesweeper helped people get accustomed to the mouse. Pokémon Go to augmented reality. There are plenty of examples of AR and VR in the gaming, entertainment, military, and art sectors. Our interest is in the applications of these technologies in business environments as enablers of creativity, how they're re-engineering tasks and processes and uncovering new opportunities. But before we do that, let's understand the differences between VR and AR. Think of VR as fictional storytelling and AR as the real world with enhancements. But it's not that black and white. Virtual reality might be 75% virtual and 25% real, while augmented reality is the opposite. In both these technologies, the real and fiction are mixed in different degrees. Therefore, virtual reality aims to bring you into a fully immersive environment in which you may experience what psychologists call a state of flow, whereas augmented reality is partially immersive and lets users interact with real-world objects. These differences can be made more prominent by exploring a couple of virtual and augmented reality examples. AR and VR are used across industries. The examples we discuss may help you discover how you can use these technologies in your own organization or industry. We will be delighted if one of these examples can spark a brilliant idea in your mind. We've already seen that there are plenty of uses for VR and AR in the gaming and training industry. But you don't have to be a gamer to experience AR. It is closer to you than you imagine. You can experience AR every day through your consumer-focused apps on your mobile. There are literally hundreds, if not thousands, of apps on iOS and Android to do just about anything. Do you want to redecorate a room? Or repaint it? Move the furniture around? Or rather, take measurements? Well, there are apps for that too. These apps target amateurs who like to do it all by themselves, but some are actually quite powerful and are used by professionals too. A good example is of the popular home improvement app Houzz. Houzz upgraded its View in My Room 3D tool with AR capabilities. Users can get more details after dropping objects selected from the app's library of 500,000 products into their living spaces. Even the lighting can be adjusted. And of course, you can quite simply and conveniently buy those items using the app. As you can imagine, augmented reality apps are often a marketing vehicle for different brands. Be it a large retail store showcasing a virtual, fully decorated room, or selling clothing or expensive jewelry. Or a car manufacturer demonstrating the prowess of their latest model. Augmented reality has been used for marketing, often without any technological requirement on the part of the user. This was illustrated in the Pepsi Max bus shelter stunt in 2014. Another example is the recent and shocking road safety awareness campaign, which ran in Montreal, Canada. You might remember when you were a kid, maybe you got your hands on one of those cool magazines, maybe National Geographic or Popular Science, which came with a pair of cardboard glasses. One side was blue and the other red, which allowed you to see images in 3D. Later came holograms. Today, AR is used in traditional newspapers and magazines to augment reader experience. And of course, create innovative modes of advertising. On TV, the Weather Channel made a splash, literally, when they used augmented reality to demonstrate the impact of Hurricane Florence.
We can show you what this could look like if you were to find yourself in this scenario. Once that water comes up to 3 feet, you can see it would be coming up my shins up towards my waist. This could be enough to knock you off your feet. It could even float some cars that could be parked on the side of the roadway. This is extremely dangerous, but once we get up into that 6-foot range, look at how high this water goes. Winds pick everything up, cars would be floating at this point. This water's over my head. I wouldn't be able to stand here, even withstand the force of the water coming in. There might even be dangers like chemicals and exposed power lines lurking in the waters. But once we get to that 9-foot range, this is an absolute life-threatening scenario. This water is through the first floor of your home into the second. You can see there's fish floating around in here. This is an extremely dangerous and life-threatening situation. So if you find yourself here, please get out. If you're told to go, you need to go. Listen to those local officials and make sure you heed the advice if told to do so.
Again, there's an app for anything and everything these days. Can you translate text that is in a language you don't understand? Yes, you can. Google Translate isn't strictly an AR app, but it does have one AR feature that's incredibly useful in translating text. You can use your phone camera to capture text that you don't understand, and the app will translate the text in real time. The best technologies are those which are ubiquitous even if what's happening behind their scenes is complex. Google Maps now has an AR mode that allows users to get directions to any place they want to go by simply holding up their phones. The award-winning Gatwick Airport app uses 2,000 navigation beacons to help you find your way in the immense airport and tell you what procedures to complete along the way. Speaking of directions in AR, we can find good examples of passive AR in the tourism industry. Imagine easily spotting sightseeing attractions along with additional relevant information, local transit information, or any other relevant item of interest overlaid on your mobile phone screen just by holding it in front of something. Using augmented reality, RYOT, a next-generation motion picture studio, recreated Paris' renowned Louvre Museum at a warehouse in Los Angeles. This allowed kids in LA to explore art and learn all about it using a tablet or a mobile device.
What do you guys think?
Where's the art?
So what if we told you guys there was artwork just sitting here, hidden right before your eyes? Hey, you wanna hold it?
That's the magic. That's what you were expecting.
Pull up this picture.
VR is also incredibly useful for businesses. For example, think about the opportunity to train employees without the risks of accidents, slowing down productivity, or breaking something. Virtual reality can be used to enhance occupational safety by recreating realistic scenarios that are far less dangerous. From an engineering perspective, it is possible to virtually create a part or a whole prototype and put it to test before the real product is created. The use of virtual technology allows designers and engineers to see, assess, and modify a considerable number of variants. A truly immersive environment needs to capture all our senses and movements. Motion tracking and the somatosensory system we discussed makes this possible.
We can now create such immersive experiences in a room-sized cube called the Cave, which stands for Cave Automatic Virtual Environment.
Virtual and augmented reality are used extensively in healthcare too, be it for medical training or patient treatment. A simple augmented reality tool reveals blood streams, facilitates the identification of potential issues, and makes it easy to find the best spot to draw some blood from. Research conducted by the University of Texas is clear. Practice in virtual reality environments helps improve performance in real-world scenarios. As you can see in their findings, only 6 trials are sufficient to significantly improve advanced needle driving. This is all great, but there are a few downsides too. Texting and driving is obviously dangerous, and we've seen several cases of zombie walking. People are so immersed in their augmented realities that they become oblivious to the real world around them and also to the risks therein. These technologies also raise new privacy and ethical risks as they rely heavily on data. For example, a nonprofit organization targeted a campaign at kids to raise funds from their parents. In the campaign, temporary tattoos were brought to life using Facebook's AR technology. The gimmick was extremely popular among kids. Having said that, targeting young minds raised ethical concerns, as most parents viewed it as an invasion of their privacy. It's ironic that VR and AR can be used to improve training and safety, while they can also cause safety risks.
If texting and driving is dangerous, imagine having zombies immersed in their virtual worlds walking around town. Wouldn't that be a bigger cause for concern?
A quick search will lead you to plenty of funny and shocking videos of people losing balance and falling down while using virtual reality equipment. In fact, about 1 in 4,000 may have severe dizziness, seizures, or blackouts while using these technologies. And finally, of course, as with any new technology, there's always the risk of organizations falling for the new shiny object, spending a lot of resources on it and getting very little in return, or creating little to no impact whatsoever. So, what does the future hold for VR and AR? Let's take a look. VR and AR are removing barriers to creativity. It is allowing us to rethink solutions to existing problems and imagine totally new possibilities to grab a greater share of attention than what traditional marketing did. These technologies will continue to impact training, re-engineer processes, and attenuate and eliminate risks. It's interesting to note that AR applications have more potential than VR applications, even though research on VR has been going on for over 30 years. This is because VR is costly and complex, whereas augmented reality has become mainstream very quickly thanks to smartphones and headsets. Even a basic cardboard setup in your mobile phone can allow you to experience augmented reality. There's no doubt these technologies will continue to evolve. AR glasses have the potential to replace the smartphone within the next 10 to 15 years. Designed to be unobtrusive, AR devices will allow us to interact intuitively with virtual objects using all our senses like smell and taste, and abilities like movement and balance. Even ultrasound may be used to stimulate nerves in our brain or vertebrae or trigger senses by surgically placing implants in the brain. The possibilities are endless. For now, however, some industries might be less suited for VR and AR. For example, think about FMCG. AR and VR can only be used for marketing purposes and nothing much. It's hard to imagine other uses. But maybe this will change when someone stumbles upon an idea. We don't know. What we do know is that AR and VR won't just make use of our visual faculties. It will use all our senses, as the Tesla suit example demonstrated. Heavy gamers will likely be the first to use these advanced technologies before it is introduced to the broader audience. Data science and artificial intelligence will also play a significant role in this evolution. They will create self-learning systems and virtual environments to make AR and VR more efficient. Now let's summarize what you have learned. Virtual reality is an experience taking place in a simulated and immersive environment that can be similar to or completely different from the real world. Augmented reality is an interactive experience of a real-world environment where objects are enhanced by computer-generated perceptual information. The technologies supporting AR and VR have evolved very quickly over the past few years and can be put to many uses. There are many benefits of using VR and AR, such as stimulating creativity, training, risk attenuation, and process re-engineering. But there are also risks to health, privacy, and safety. 3D printing strikes the imagination. What was portrayed as science fiction just a couple of years ago is now available to consumers.
In this lesson, we will present some creative uses of 3D printing. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to discuss how 3D printing is relevant to you and could be leveraged in your industry. Analyze real-life examples of 3D printing to ideate solutions. Outline the future of 3D printing.
When we hear 3D printing, what comes to mind is one of those fancy printers using plastic to build some artifacts. 3D printing is that and much more, as we will see. Let's start with a great feel-good example. 3D printing is literally changing the lives of people by providing them with affordable prosthetics, hands, limbs, and arms. Prosthetics can cost tens of thousands of dollars, and kids quickly outgrow them. Non-profit organizations like eNable is empowering volunteers to create and print affordable prosthetics for them. It is estimated that 10% of medical devices are 3D printed, and the hearing aid industry has seen nearly a 100% transformation because of 3D printing. 3D printing emerged in the 1980s with the design and printing of a small cup. It was invented by Chuck Hall, known as the father of 3D printing. Also known as additive manufacturing, 3D printed objects are created from a digital file and a printer that lays down successive layers of material until the object is complete. Each layer is a thinly sliced cross-section of the actual object. A simple 3D printer for use at homes is about $300, while the commercial ones can cost tens of thousands of dollars. There are also numerous sites where 3D models, along with files and instructions, are available for free or at a small cost. As you can imagine, applications of 3D printing are not limited to the world of prosthetics. Let's have a look at a few other applications. While initial 3D printers used plastic as their raw material, these days they are used for all kinds of applications. For example, 3D printers can now print delicious and unique Belgian chocolates. Just like bespoke art and craft, printing gourmet chocolate is a very low volume production. For low-volume manufacturing, 3D printing makes it possible for businesses to consider short-run production, where focused product teams can launch new products more frequently and easily. They will be able to work beyond the realms of their imagination and certainly beyond the restraints that come with traditional methods. It empowers an agile development process for producing physical parts and has the ability to accelerate the production and time it takes to get to market. For high-volume manufacturing, a production line that is set up for 3D printing is easier to alter than that of traditional manufacturing. Be it improvements to machinery, adjustments to the print speed, or even a change of product, it can be done instantly. Creative use of 3D printing concepts is now leveraged for large endeavors. Homes can now be built in less than 24 hours at a cost of only $4,000. Think of it as a large portable 3D printer, which can pour concrete, sometimes using a mix of raw earth and rice waste, like straw and husk, which are readily available anywhere. This is a great example of something that couldn't have been possibly imagined a few years ago, but makes perfect sense today. Houses aren't enough? What about printing a whole steel bridge using robots? At this scale, considering the cost of the material involved, achieving superior engineering characteristics, and breaking down physical constraints at a lower cost with more aesthetics is a definite win. 3D printing is often, if not always, employed with other technologies, such as 3D scanners, which is fed to the CAD modeling software. Robotics are also sometimes involved to create larger, more complex products. Think about it. Even a robotic arm can be created using 3D printing. This is super metal. But what 3D printing empowers is often more subtle. In traditional production, multiple separated parts are produced and combined later because it is too complex to produce as one piece. Even to create some complex shapes is impossible with traditional methods. 3D printing removes these physical barriers. It's a new tool which fuels creativity to solve problems in new ways, and it enables more agile processes. Volkswagen's Portugal plant saved $377,000 in a year by 3D printing wheel assembly jigs and fixtures, as opposed to waiting long periods while replacements crawl through the supply chain. Jigs and fixtures are parts that hold and guide tools in machinery. John Kawala, Ultimaker's North American president, said, "It used to be if they wanted one of these parts, it would cost $200 to get the part, and it would take a couple of weeks. Now, they can print it in a couple of hours and $20. GE Additive, whose parent company is General Electric, offers machines that harness electron beam melting and laser additive technology. With 3D printing, it began producing metal fuel nozzles for GE Aviation's LEAP engine in 2015. The metal 3D printing eliminated the welding and brazing process and helped in reducing 20 parts to 1. The strength of metal nozzle increased by 5 times and it lightened by 25%. Although this technology looks amazing and is evolving at a rapid pace, there are still some downsides. There are currently 3 main constraints to 3D printing: speed, size, and materials. But those are expected to quickly fade away as the technology continues to evolve. 3D printers are generally slow when compared to other methods, so we have to use it in the right context and moment in the production cycle. Generally, printing large objects is complex and expensive, but certainly not impossible, as we have seen. Plastics, the material most often used, is certainly not appropriate for all types of work, but this tends to change as metal alloy and concrete mix are introduced. Everything isn't perfect, but there are numerous immediate advantages to this technology. Traditional manufacturing methods are expensive, whereas the 3D printing process can make the creation of product parts cheaper and more accessible. You can reduce the risk of errors, wasted material, time, and money by confirming a design before committing it to production. Although 3D printing is often slower than traditional assembly lines, you can factor in machinery problems or human error that can stop production with traditional manufacturing. 3D printing makes it possible to develop ideas at a faster pace. Similar to the previous point, you can start with a prototype and continue to iteratively build, grow, and evolve it.
It is difficult to develop complex products using traditional methods, but not with 3D printing.
Although the material cost is still high, the range of material options is growing. Prices are likely to decrease over time. Plus, if you consider the reduced waste, it can become favorable comparable to traditional methods. Inventory is expensive in terms of space, while 3D printing makes it possible to produce on demand. A couple of challenges lie ahead. They aren't technological in nature, but they need to be addressed. The 3D printing world isn't standardized, and the results sometimes lack consistent quality, strength, and reliability of traditional methods. Although consumer products are getting cheaper by the day, equipment and product costs are high for professional users. Let's face it, 3D printing using additives like plastic filament impacts the environment and can take 50 to 100 times more energy than injection molding methods. And lastly, intellectual property should also be considered. While in the past the value was the resulting object itself, today the value resides in the design of that object, since once it has been created, it can be replicated indefinitely. Who knows what the future holds? It's difficult to say, but we can make some good hypotheses and explore new, different ways of applying the initial concepts of 3D printing. A new approach to 3D printing is alleviating some of the constraints mentioned previously. Rapid liquid printing can produce full-scale furniture or other products in a matter of minutes using rubber, foam, plastic, or any other industrial liquid material. This is important because it represents a totally different method of printing, using different material at high speed. As is often the case with technology, the initial steps eventually pave the way to much more advanced solutions. 3D printing is becoming more accessible. You can get your own 3D printer at home for a few $100s, and many 3D models are available for free to let you experiment.
3D printing is quickly improving. It is getting better than traditional business tools and processes at producing consumer products.
Don't take 3D printing merely at its face value and get blinded by its glitter. See it as an enabler to rethink many aspects of your organization. See if 3D scanners could make sense for you, if the CAD engineering process could be reviewed, if experimentation and rapid prototyping could enable more agile development cycles, greater quality, reduced costs, and maybe even open new opportunities.
Let's summarize what you have learned. 3D printing solutions are expensive to implement for engineering and industrial purposes. 3D printing involves other concepts, such as 3D scanning and robotics. Plastic is not the only raw material that you can use in 3D printing. You can use a wide range of materials at small or large scales for custom or mass production. 3D printing is a technology that fuels creativity. However, you need to think holistically about its uses to design impactful solutions.
In this course, you have learned to envision the digital future of the firm by diagnosing the potential value of existing corporate assets. Design programs that ensure optimum utilization of resources by investing in skills and initiatives that target profitable customer experience journeys. Deliver insight and foresight by analyzing real-time and historical data and using predictive models to identify business opportunities and risks. Act in the moment by using real-time insights to enable customers, workers, suppliers, and machines to seize opportunities immediately and take collaborative action at the moment of greatest impact. Streamline work by increasing automation, usability, collaboration, and real-time process to improve efficiency. Network the business by connecting internal business processes, labor, ecosystem partners, and customers to deliver a new level of transparency and create value that goes beyond the boundaries of the enterprise. Deliver innovative outcomes by developing new solution and business models in an agile way to create greater value for the customer and the supplier. 1. Keep learning. Look at what other companies are doing and constantly challenge yourself to discover new, different, and better ways of doing things. 2. Innovate effectively. Create an environment for innovative ideas, embrace change, and test new ideas. 3. Get started. Map business processes. Create a high-level data architecture based on the map. Align it with organization capabilities and goals. 4. Be part of the change. Upgrade strategy based on the opportunities. Choose a methodology to support that change. Plan the architecture and infrastructure needed. Build the change team through cultural upgradation in the organization. Among all these, remember to keep a digital mindset to adapt to the change.
So that's a wrap on a full course. If you have any doubts or questions, you can ask them in the comment section below. Our team of experts will reply you as soon as possible. Thank you and keep learning with Simplilearn.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.